I know that stylized textures could be intimidating, but they are easier to create than you may think. When you finish this tutorial, you will be able to create beautiful stylish textures for your models. My name is Linda, and welcome to my Ghibli stylized texture tutorial. We will first delete the default layer and add a folder. Rename it to Base Brushes. Add a fill layer to the folder and rename it to Base Color. Turn roughness to 1, otherwise the material would be too glossy. And pick a dark color. Add a new fill. Name it Brush Strokes Base. Since this is a procedural material, it is important to keep things properly named so we can change it later without having to guess what is what. This time we will use a lighter color. Add a black mask and add a fill layer to it. Add black and white spots, 1 procedural texture to the fill of the layer. And edit the mask to your liking. Here I am trying different kinds of projections. But I went back to the defaults. Now we will add a blur slope filter. This is the soul of the project, and we will use it in almost every layer. Add a blur directional to emulate directional strokes. And set your preferred direction. And the last filter would be Sharpen, to make the texture less blurry. Check your model different layers and make corrections until you are satisfied with the result. Now we will add a few layers of paint to make the texture a little bit more chaotic and create variation in the color. So we will add a new fill layer with a black mask. Add a fill to the mask. And drag and drop cells for procedural texture to the fill slot. Add blur slope and sharpen. Remember to change to overlay and play with the opacity to get the results that you want. Since I wasn't seeing any changes, I started turning on and off the layer and fine-tuning it. Until I noticed that the roughness was not properly set up. And the color wasn't light enough. Afterwards, we will duplicate the layer. Proceed to tweak the new one, and play with the setup to achieve more variation. Here I made the mistake to edit the original layer. So I undo my actions and selected the correct layer and started to tweak again. Duplicate the layer again and repeat the process. After tweaking everything to make the colors blend properly, I proceed to create another fill layer. This one will be the Ambient Occlusion, to give the model a little bit of depth. Select black for the color. Set the layer to multiply. Add a black mask and the Ambient Occlusion generator. Turn on the global invert on the parameters. And tweak it to get shadows in the cavities of the mesh. I added a levels to see if I can get a better result. But finally decided that it was not needed. And for the last touch, the magic of the blur slope filter. As you can see, with the blur slope filter and the procedural textures, we are able to create Ghibli-like textures. If you liked this tutorial and would like to learn more about this style, check the links in the comments for the full course. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video to support the channel.